Good evening and welcome to the Spring 2025 NCL Awards Ceremony. I'm Emily Calandranis, Director of Development and Partnerships for Cyber Skyline and the Community Engagement Connector for the National Cyber League. It is my pleasure to host this event each season, and this particular season was one for the books. We had over 10,000 students registered to compete in the competition, and we had a record-breaking amount of players who participated in all of the challenge rounds, resulting in individual and team scores that were higher than ever. Tonight, we celebrate the NCL community and thank you all for your incredibly hard work and support. This evening is made possible by our presenting sponsors, CrowdStrike, Cyphertext Solutions, Amazon, and Tanium. Their continued support and sponsorship of the NCL allows us to continue to bridge curriculum to careers and provide resources and community engagement season after season. This evening, we begin with welcoming remarks from the NCL Commissioner, Dr. David Zaitchik. We will then bring to the stage our special guest, Melissa Bischoping, Senior Director of Security and Product Design Research from Tanium. Shortly after, we will move into recognizing top individuals and top teams. And as we wrap up the event, we will give a shout out to our Spirit Week supporters and say farewell until the fall season. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the stage NCL Commissioner Dr. David Zaitchik, Assistant Professor at California State University, Chico.
Well, thank you, Emily, and welcome back, everybody. Thanks again for joining us for another NCL Awards ceremony. I'm super excited to do this. It's one of the highlights, definitely, of the season, of the semester, of the year, to come and do this and present some of our outstanding students and players that have just blown me away every time with the competitiveness of what they do. And I just want to pause at that moment and just at this moment and just say, really what you're doing, I know it's a lot of work. You get your name on the scoreboard. It's amazing. But I also want you to know that what you're doing really is going to matter for your future and for your career. I've been talking, one of the things that I do as commissioner, if you're wondering what this position entails, is talking to first other coaches, but also to industry and also hiring managers. And, one thing that comes up is what they're looking for when they are looking to hire. And I think you've probably heard this a few times. One thing is soft skills. That is something that we just talked about this week. Something that came up during Spirit Week, but it's also the passion and everything that you do to show that grit of solving those challenges. So the passion of playing in the NCL, taking time out of your weekend for the individual game, your weekend for the team game, perhaps a whole week for the practice game, time for the gym, all that shows that hiring manager your passion for cybersecurity. So you working on this and scoring well and doing that season after season, I encourage you to do it season after season, really does show a lot. And I encourage you to obviously put that on your resume. But another thing that you can do, maybe you've already thought of this, is talk about this during a job interview. One big question that comes up during job interviews is, tell me a time when you struggled with this, or tell me a time when you had this hard problem to solve. And that's a great cue for you to start talking about how you solve challenges in the NCL individual game, and also importantly, how you work together if you were on a team, working together as a team. Companies love that. So make sure that you do talk about that. When you get an interview for a cybersecurity position, and just keep on playing and know that what you're doing and all the time and effort that you're putting into this will definitely show. I know it's a very tough job market out there right now. So putting more and more to these extracurricular type of activities will definitely pay off. So with that said, I want to bring on our special guest. and give you a little bit of an introduction of who's going to be talking with us next. So as Emily said, we have Melissa Bischoping. She is a passionate security evangelist whose academic and professional background in human psychology and technology align to educate, advocate, and remediate the difficult security problems faced by businesses and individuals. She currently works as the Senior Director of Security and Product Design Research at Tanium, where she analyzes emerging threats and risks to provide subject matter expertise. And also, I learned, seems to take her to exciting places as well. Maybe you'll talk about that. And she does that through curated content and innovation on the product roadmap. Prior to Tanium, she held positions in operations and security across both hospitality and manufacturing industries. Melissa is most interested in advancing the art of forensics and designing products, solutions that bring more organizations above the security poverty line and advance the skill growth of community. There's more. She earned a Master of Science in Information Security Engineering from SANS Technology Institute, that we might actually see a little bit later on the leaderboard, last year in 2024. As a student, she was honored to be selected as a 2023 RSA Conference Security Scholar and compete as a member of their nationally ranked CTF team from 21 to 23. She has earned and maintained 12 GIAC certificates, including her most recent, the GIAC Security Professional. I hope I didn't take away everything you were going to talk about, Melissa, but that's quite a bit. And please welcome, and please go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, David. And it's, David and I did not compare notes before this evening, but he hit on some key topics that I think I'm going to drill into a little bit as we go through. So I'm really excited to give you my perspective on just some time that I spent as a competitor and how that shaped my career, as well as how I look at competitors today when they're coming through our interview and our hiring pipeline. So again, good evening to those of you here on the US East Coast, or a good appropriate time of day for those of you who might be elsewhere in the world. I am thrilled to be here with you because National Cyber League has been such a huge part of my academic and professional growth over the last 4 or 5 years. As David mentioned, I'm currently working as Senior Director of Security and Product Design Research for Tanium, but I've been with Tanium since about 2020 and have been promoted several times through different roles, almost following my growth through my NCL career, my academic career. So let's dig in a little bit. I want to talk about why I'm so passionate about the importance of things like lab-based learning and competitive experiences. I really think that programs like NCL help us level the playing field for people entering this industry. Not everyone has access to top-tier schools. Depending on where you live, you might be going to community college, or you might not even be sure where you want to spend your academic career yet. And getting hands-on experience when you're coming from a non-traditional pipeline can be a huge obstacle to overcome. And I think that the NCL serves to level that playing field, to put all of you, no matter what school you've gone to, no matter where you are in your academic journey, you're competing with each other on the same kind of challenges, and being able to talk about how you approach those across borders, across time zones, across academic structure. So let's go back a little bit to 2019. I was kind of brand new to security specifically. I was just taking over my very first security specific role, and I convinced my boss to send me to my very first security specific conference. So I attended the WESIS conference in Pittsburgh that year. And that was really overwhelming for me because I didn't know anyone. I was attending all by myself. Nobody else from work was there. And I remember wandering into the building and seeing the sign for the CTF over in the corner. And I think Crypto Kate's dog was there. And of course, that was like a huge draw for me. I had previously played some CTFs on other platforms, but they were kind of solo. There was no team or collaborative nature to it. And I found that walking into the CTF room at WESIS, it put me at ease. It created this sense of community. All of a sudden, things felt a lot less intimidating. And then I started working on the challenges, and I found several that were very much over my head, but the spirit of people there to support you, people there to educate you on different techniques, really created a sense of welcome and helped me find my space in this overwhelming industry event. And I didn't realize at the time how essential that was going to be to shaping me as a professional, but also helping me to continue to feel welcomed in those spaces. So over the next few days back in WESIS 2019, I worked on the CTF and I didn't get very far. I did not do very well. I was nowhere on the leaderboard. But about 2 years later, when I was working on my master's, SANS decided that they were going to build their first CTF team and compete in NCL for the first time. So I was like, yeah, of course, I'm familiar with this. Let's do it. And I was a little more experienced, and I had a few more tricks up my sleeve at that point. So uh, that first season, I was hooked. I found myself, burning all late night hours. My husband eventually settled into a pattern of knowing my snack schedule when I was competing on the weekends, where he would bring me, hey, I've made a veggie tray and here's some water. Stay hydrated. So if any of you are in the same boat where you're working late nights and you're just will not let these challenges go, having somebody around that can at least remember to bring you snacks is a definite game changer. Help me level up from there. But I started, season to season, I started tracking my growth, and I started looking at not just my performance on the leaderboard or my performance to my peers, but how had I compared to the previous season? Where was I weak? Where was I strong? How could I put that into play in my profession? And I started being able to demonstrate some of those new skills that I was learning at work, which led to a couple of promotions, led to some new opportunities. And that built my confidence. It also helped me tell my story a little bit better because I had things like the score report to work off of. Now, the work that I'm doing in product research and in security research, every day is a very different kind of puzzle. Some of them are far harder than anything the NCL team can come up with. But it's also kind of like facing a new season of challenges. And I feel like I'm better equipped with the skills that we're going to talk about here in a minute that let me know how to approach a problem, know how to break it down, know how to communicate it. And all of that were things that I was prepared for through doing this sort of gamified approach to enhancing my learning. So I do want to kind of dig into a few of the specific takeaways, things that I took from this journey and things that I definitely miss because now I'm not competing anymore, but how that changes what I look for in candidates and what I hope all of you are going to be bringing to your interviews and your opportunities at work. The first thing I want to focus on is that half the battle in this industry is just knowing how to research and how to rapidly recall the information you need. NCL, much like the rest of the security industry, always has a surprise waiting for you. Some of the surprises in NCL go on to become basically lore because they were so hard and so creative that they get talked about for years to come. You don't really know what you're going to get. It might not even be something that's cyber specific and it's some obscure reference and you've got to really dig into it. You're like, what does this have to do with security? But it's teaching you how to rapidly identify things you need to search for, things you need to distill, things you need to rule out, and how to do that quickly and how to prioritize your time. That is going to come into play in your job every single day. You also have to then know how to format that information into something where you can share lessons learned about your research method and improve going forward. And because the time management component is so critical, and wasting time inefficiently can cause you such a penalty, that's going to help you learn how to triage at work in a more effective way. If you're already in the workforce, you already know this is a skill that differentiates you if you're an incident responder or if you're working in any sort of high stakes environment. You have to be able to rapidly analyze, distill the information, recall what's important, and summarize it in a way that people know exactly what they need to take from it. The second key takeaway that I think is really important and transcends so many different disciplines is that you need to stay humble and you need to stay graceful. I learned through the years that I was competing that we're all learning. Yeah, there's people who seem to always have every answer for every challenge and they're always at the top of the leaderboard, but those people didn't start there. And what's so great about this community is that you're not dealing with like the influencer culture, and people are really, really real. These are experts in their field. These are people who have practiced, who have learned, and they're here to share that knowledge. One of the great things about the teams that were at SANS is that we learned from each other's things like time management strategy, right? We learned about how to plan our strategy as a team based on what worked well and what didn't. The teams that were really, really senior and really, really good weren't hiding that information. It was like, hey, we all want to grow and be better, right? And that authentic, honest approach isn't a weakness. It's part of what makes professionals trusted and reliable in their field. And what you experience in the team games, if you play as part of a team, is that same set of skills of learning how to identify people's successes, identify people's strengths, task them with specific things. Your peer leadership skills start to emerge, and your ability to communicate and plan around time limitations really it mirrors what you're going to face in the workplace. The third component that I think translates back into the workforce is that community is such an essential, critical asset to us as cyber professionals. This is probably the most important takeaway. So we all hear stories about how there's too many silos, the community should work together, we've got to be stronger together. But in practice, we still have a lot of work to do. And communities like NCL are part of how you're going to build that community and build those lasting relationships. I have people I've competed with and played with over years that are still friends. I've got people that I work with today that got referred to my company because we worked together or in an NCL event. And I think you should never underestimate those lasting relationships. The people that you're competing with and against are people who are just as passionate as you are, who are just as dedicated to spending their nights and weekends working on these extracurricular activities because they care so much. And when you think about the fact that our line of work is something where we're protecting our families, our friends, our bank accounts, our hospitals, our kids' schools and libraries, we're not going to be able to do that at scale without people who really care and connect with each other. It's also really easy in this industry to get overwhelmed and to get burned out. And I think that one of the other things NCL taught me was to check in on each other, to say, hey, everybody taking a break? Did anyone at least sleep an hour last night? Like nobody worked overnight, right? Check in with each other, care about each other, because even on the most exhausted days, that empathy, that compassion, and that support for each other is invigorating. And it's something that as a leader and as a colleague, I want to bring to my work. The last thing I'll say is something I want to echo that David also touched on. This stuff matters on your resume. It can really be a differentiator. The types of organizations I want to work for are the types of organizations that look for people who are creative problem solvers. Some of you may know a little bit about my background and my story. For those of you who don't, I was a teenage single mother who did not enter the cybersecurity industry until she was in her late 20s. And for me, going to a top tier engineering school was not an option. I had to look for alternatives. And so programs like NCL broke down that barrier for me and have allowed me to build a life and set an example for my son that was not otherwise possible. I was able to prove to employers what I was capable of, despite what degree I had or how far in progress it was. My experience playing CTFs, in fact, actually helped me recognize a breach and recognize the forensic artifacts that we needed to collect during an active incident. This stuff has real world applicability and has directly resulted in promotion opportunities for me personally, much less countless other people. So as a manager and a person who does a lot of hiring and interviewing today, I actually specifically look for people who have done extracurricular competitive CTF experience because I know the passion, the dedication. I know that they're not necessarily just learning the one textbook way to solve a problem, that they're people who will try new things and see what works. And that's something that's really hard to teach, but it's very easy to grow when somebody comes in with that spark and that motivation to learn. So I want those people. I want to grow them into the leaders of our industry. And I want to make space for those people who are coming in through non-traditional paths. This is also, like David said, when that dreaded question of, hey, so tell me about a time when you solved a really hard problem. If you're an NCL competitor, you're going to have that, like, your eyes are going to light up and you're going to be like, let me tell you about that aha moment, because you've got these real examples that aren't just based in theory. They're based on like your actual moments of frustration and that overwhelming sense of pride when you finally crack it. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. If you're sitting here today watching this stream, it's because you know how important the work is and you know how valuable it is to hone your craft. You're here because you are wanting to do more than just average. You're sitting in a room full of other people who also care just as much. So lean on them, learn from them, connect with them, build this network, and don't lose touch with each other. Not just because maybe you want a job referral, or maybe you're going to need help with a specific technical problem, but also because these people are exceptional for a pep talk, a reminder to take a break, a sanity check, or just some understanding about how crazy and challenging this work can be. So as you go out and put this knowledge to work in your own careers, also keep an eye for the folks coming in the door behind you, because we as leaders have an obligation to continue to instill the values and share all of this knowledge and information so that our impact can keep growing. We're going to thrive as a community, and now you're part of one. So thank you again for allowing me to come speak tonight, and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you so much, Melissa. That was incredibly inspiring. And I think just your authentic way of sharing about your experience and just being incredibly uplifting is just immeasurable. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And you're always a part of the NCL community. We love you dearly. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Awesome. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
All righty. Well, with that inspiring presentation, thank you so much again, Melissa. We are going to be talking a little bit about the community at large. And like I just mentioned, Melissa is part of the NCL community, and she continues to be inspiring and be involved in really just supporting students. And that's exactly what you see on this slide. These are some awesome photos of the NCL community. It showcases the diverse group of students that represent hundreds of schools and thousands of students across the United States and Canada. We truly thank all of you that are part of the NCL community. We are so incredibly proud of your accomplishments and your dedication to making our world a safer and better place. And you can just see by these photos just the joy and the goodness and just a representation of who we are as the NCL. All right, so now we're going to get to the nitty-gritty. We are going to move into switching gears and bringing Commissioner Zaitchik back on the stage to announce our top winners for the spring 2025 season. So hope everybody's excited. Show some excitement in the chat. I'm thrilled, and I know everyone who won, but even then I'm very thrilled to be able to share the info. So I will go ahead now and give the baton to you, David, and I will stay on stage with you so we can kind of silently celebrate together.
Sounds good. Someone to celebrate with. Hello. So before I jump into top individuals, I do want to reiterate what Melissa said about so if your name is not mentioned or your team is not mentioned tonight, but you did compete in the NCL, remember you are competing with yourself. So this game is for you to continue to grow and hone your skills. So keep at it. We are now, though, going to jump into highlighting some of our top competitors. I think it is important to do so. So we are going to start right here with the standard leaderboard and move into our top individuals. And we're going to start with third place in the standard leaderboard is a high school student, Jeremy Yu. Jeremy is from Mountain View High School. He had 2,975 points, almost 100%, which is amazing. An accuracy of 87.82%, and he was able to finish this all within 2 days and 7 hours. That's an amazing feat, Jeremy. A fun fact about Jeremy, he memorized 150 digits of pi by heart. That's amazing. Pretty cool party trick too, I think. So congratulations, Jeremy. Moving on to second place in the standard leaderboard from Honolulu Community College, Sean Belil. Sean had 2,975 points with an accuracy of 93.84 and was able to complete all of that within 2 days and 5 hours. Sean has a fun fact as well. He completely, I guess, while doing the individual game, rewatched Code Lyoko, which is what actually got him into this whole tech industry in the first place. So pretty impressive multitasking there, Sean. And I guess you got to have something running in the background on the side to keep you going. So congratulations on your second place finish. We are now moving on to first place in the standard leaderboard from the University of Colorado at Boulder. We have Kevin Shu. Kevin scored 2,975 points with an accuracy of 96.48%, and he did all this within 2 days and 7 hours. Amazing work, Kevin. I think we're going to say your fun fact is that you got 2,975 points and came in first place. That's impressive. Congratulations, Kevin. Okay, we are now going to move over to the experience leaderboard and look at the top individuals there. Once again, we're going to start in third place on the experience leaderboard. From the University of Louisville, we have Colin Dewey with 2,975 points. Again, almost a perfect score and high accuracy there of 93.84%. And did all that again within 2 days and 3 hours. Impressive work. And when I'm saying these 2 days and hours, and I'm thinking back to Melissa's, did you do any eating? Not sure how much sleeping took place, but that's an impressive amount of work to accomplish in that time frame. Colin's fun fact is a little bit of code here. Echo U pipe sudo t /proc /sysrq sysroc-trigger. Thank you for that, Colin. We can type that in and see what happens. All right, we are now moving to the second place finisher. From the SANS Technical Institute, we have Andrew Effenhauser, which I think I've seen here before. Congratulations, Andrew, for coming in second place in the experience leaderboard. And guess what? He got a perfect score, 3,000 points, and almost completely perfect accuracy of 97.18%. And look at this, within 1 day, in 1 hour, Andrew got 3,000 points. That's incredible. Fun fact about Andrew is he got into cybersecurity after learning about it from an extra credit assignment. If his grades weren't awful that semester, he probably would never be in this industry and maybe would have chosen an entire different field. So, Andrew, I think we are lucky to have you in this industry. So, congratulations on having a bad grade. Thanks for getting that extra credit. All right, congratulations. So moving on to our first place in the experience leaderboard from the University of Nevada, Reno, we've got Lloyd Gonzalez. Of course, perfect score. Congratulations on that. And almost a perfect accuracy with 98.5%. And he did all that within 2 days, 7 hours. All right, got a little bit to share here about Lloyd. Lloyd was his 4th year competing, and after defending his master's thesis during the team game. So since he did all that, he would like to thank a few people. And Lloyd, I'll read all this since you did earn it. This was a first place finish. So I will thank all these people for you. So Lloyd says, in particular, I'd like to thank everyone from the Nevada Cyber Club, the US Cyber Team, and the former Gifted Kids for being amazing people, especially Sean Adams for inspiring me to never lose again, and Jake Saunders for everything he's done. Second, the NCL team. Since I wouldn't have even been given cybersecurity a chance or met any of these fantastic people otherwise. I'd especially like to thank Rooted for forcing me to learn Pwn and making amazing challenges. Thanks, Rooted. He is a large part of why I'm pursuing the career path I am now. Finally, to everyone who was a victim of my flag hoarding over the last 2 years, sorry, you had to put up with me. At least you probably won't have to deal with me in particular ever again. Boat goes binted. Well, hopefully, Lloyd, this is a small community, so you might see some of these people again in the cybersecurity industry. But congratulations, and I think that was very nice of you to thank all of those people. And congratulations again. All right, we are now switching gears to top teams. And we are going to start once again with the standard leaderboard, starting in 5th place. 5th place, we've got a little hexadecimal here, fish. Mixed schools. So students from across many different schools got together to gain 2,980 points with an accuracy of 97.64%. Did all this within 2 days and 5 hours. And just to list all the players, we have Arnold Spansel, Seth Williams, Brian Ho, Vipin Biram, Lav Patel, Rishi Sadhu, and Stephen Glamiki. A fun fact about this group is they weren't all in the same location. They actually live around 1,000, I guess they did a little calculation here. They live around 1,337 miles away from each other. So yes, remote work does work. All right, moving on to the 4th place finishers. From Purdue University, we have Purdon't. And they got 2,980 points with a very impressive accuracy of 99.2%, almost perfect. Did all that within 2 days and 8 hours. On that team, we have Clark Katsoulias, Kevin Archer, Sean Cunningham, Charlie Schmidt, Anastasia Gukasova, Colin Samur, David Rakovan. And one fun fact about Purdue was founded in 1869 as Indiana's land-grant university. And our mascot is a train. Boiler up. Great mascot. Congratulations on your 4th place finish, Purdon't. All right, 3rd place. From the College of William and Mary, we have Tribe Cyber Red Team with a perfect score and an accuracy of 98.41%. Did all that within 2 days and 3 hours. This team consists of Zachary Bowden, Lily Glaudemans, Matthew Esposito, Whit Sanders, Luna Harrison, Taylor South, and Walker Knapp. Fun fact about this group is they competed in the oldest academic building in the US that is continuously operating. However, it did burn down 4 times. So I'm very happy that it did not burn down last weekend. Congratulations on surviving that, and congratulations on your 3rd place finish. Moving on to 2nd place. It's a group that I've seen a few times here before. Bits for Everyone, the U.S. Military Academy. Perfect score. And look at that accuracy. So close to 100%. And that probably tells you and shows you how competitive this category truly is. For a team to get a perfect score and almost with a 0.8% away from perfect accuracy shows how competitive this is. So congratulations, Bit for Everyone. Congratulations to Cooper Drusgul, Corbin Deary, Mattea Galastanu, Gekonyo Nejdendu, Dietrich Bumgarner, Hojin Han, and Michelle Hofler. A fun fact about this group is that cadets at West Point have been competing in computer science competitions as a formal club since 2013, over 12 years there. Upon graduating, all members of the team will serve as officers in the U.S. Army and often within the Army's cyber career field. I feel much better protected now knowing that you will be serving that position, and thank you for your service. All right, Emily, I'm going to give you the honor for first place.
Thank you. And it is quite an honor. And spoiler alert, you know when I come on stage what that means. And for first place, top team standard leaderboard, congratulations to Team User Zero from California State University, Chico. And you may know who their coach is. The point value was 3,000. Perfect score, accuracy 100%. Congratulations. And you all did it in 2 days and 8 hours. The team players are Alec Morris, Alpresh Agarwal, Dexter Lem, Michael McKinley, JQ Yang, Daniel Rogers, and Tess Shelton. And the fun fact about User Zero is that they completed the competition with just 30 minutes left. Once again, congratulations, and congratulations to you, Coach Sajik.
Thank you. And on the picture there, we have Coda. So I guess the other fun fact is that's their team mascot.
Oh, love Coda.
Yeah. All right. We are moving on to the experienced leaderboard, top teams, and we will be starting right with the 5th place finishers from the University of Nevada, Reno. I think I recognize someone on that team. We have Team Long Live Zeus, and we'll learn in a minute why that name is Long Live Zeus. They had 2,950 points, almost 100% accuracy, 99.19%. They came in 5th place. So yeah, this is, again, a very, very tight category. Finished all this within 2 days and 6 hours. Their players consist of Kieran Hardinger, Nicholas Katasoros, Justin Lee, Manuel Morales Marroquin, Jackson Elsmore, and Lloyd Gonzalez. Congratulations, you guys. A fun fact, and again, this is going back to Zeus, is their victory is dedicated in memory of Zeus, a white mute swan who was a longtime resident of Manzanita Lake on their campus. Long live Zeus. We'll do a little moment of silence there. All right, here you go. Congratulations, and very nice of you honoring Zeus with your team name. Congratulations, Long live Zeus, 5th place. Moving on to 4th place. We see a little bit of SANS coming in here. SANS.edu Sentinels 391 in 4th place with a perfect score and an almost completely perfect accuracy of 97.64%. Did all this within 2 days and 3 hours. Their players are Robert Henderson, Nick Jones, Sam Decker, Jonathan Hemingway, Jason Mole, Eric Guro, and Brian Davidson. And ready for a fun fact? Their fun fact is their favorite SANS class has been Net Wars since it reminds them of the NCL challenges. Well, that's very nice of you. I'm glad. It sounds like you are enjoying the challenges and enjoying your class that mimics those challenges. So congratulations, SANS.edu Sentinels 391. Moving on to 3rd place. We got another SANS. SANS.edu Sentinels 520. Another perfect score, 98.41% accuracy. Amazing. The players, I love that picture there. First, we have Bradley Greer. I think that's on the left. Let's see if I can do this in order. Wee Ki Jun is 2nd from the left. Derek Peterson is next. Michael Belzak next. Jill Francis. What are we missing here? Can't see. Oh, Skylar Kunha and David Navo. All right. Congratulations to you guys. Your fun fact is the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. That's part one of the fact. I don't know if these two are connected. So part two, or second fact, is no, David is not a chatbot, just a very pricey, conscious student. All right, David Navo, I think that was for you. Congratulations, sans.edu, Sentinels 520. Moving on to second place, we have Eastern Washington University with another perfect score, 99.2% accuracy. Holy cow. And they did all that within 2 days and 4 hours. Their team members consist of Isaiah Hims, Lillian Miller, Huang Kwando, Vivian Miller, Alexander Mumau, Ben Buzzard, and Aaron Johnson. All right, here's their fun fact. Eastern Washington University is the only university in the region designated by the NSA as a Center of Academic Excellence in Cyber Defense. And coming this fall, they will also have the rare dual distinction of also becoming the NSA Center of Academics of Excellence in Cyber Operations. And we should also add Center of Excellence of NCL. Is that one? We can add that. Yeah. Congratulations on an impressive second place finish, Eastern Washington University. And moving on to the experienced first placers, we have from the University of Connecticut, the Cult of Agron resurrected Yukon Cyber with a perfect score of 3,000 points. And once again, an almost 100% accuracy, so close, 99.2%, did all that within 2 days and 3 hours. Their players consist of Anthony Chrissy, Agron Jamajili, Robert Stalwarts, Ronak Sahu, Judah Friedman, Ben Majkut, and William Dunette. Fun fact is every NCL trophy implies a BMW dinner with the, a BWW dinner with the team. I hope that's a good dinner. The team consists of fellow Jedi Masters, teachers, of course, and their Padawans, their students. I hope you guys enjoy your dinner. That is well earned with a perfect score and an almost 100% accuracy. Congratulations, the Cult of Agron resurrected from Yukon Cyber. And congratulations again to everybody. Again, I want to reiterate, if you are joining us and you did compete in the NCL, your name's not here. Hope maybe it'll be here soon. And maybe you're just going to keep increasing your own score and competing with yourself, because that is also a very important thing to do. Keep honing those cybersecurity skills. That will also, again, go back to showing that passion for the field, and working on this as going back to what we were saying earlier, probably without much sleep, little if no food, unless you're getting your tray of vegetables brought to you. That shows some serious grit and dedication, and I really can't understate or overstate how much that means to employers. That is definitely something they are looking for. Is, yeah, you got the skills, but they want to see that fire in the eyes, and being able to show that during that interview. And talking about NCL when you get to those interviews, also super important. So again, congratulations to all these teams. It's fun for me to see some of these same names coming back up for the individuals. And it's also super fun to see this leaderboard constantly kind of moving around here a little bit and there, and seeing those same teams compete for those top place finishes. Fun for me, and I think it's also fun for you guys as well. So once again, congratulations, everybody. And to Emily, not Melissa, we're not going back there. We'll go all the way to Emily. go back to you. How's that? Talk about Spirit.
Thanks, David. And I also want to give my huge congratulations to everybody, and especially those who are graduating and kind of phasing out of the NCL. Kudos to you, and we really hope that you continue to be a part of the NCL community. And that brings me to our Spirit Week events. It's a big part of what we do every season. If you can believe it, this is the 6th Spirit Week that we've had, which is just near and dear to my heart. So just looking at what we've done the past few years, it's all possible because of the wonderful community that we have and the inspiration to support you all the best that we can as well. The events that we have had this past week hopefully have helped you all and helped you prepare for future cyber roles and let you grow your tribe of supporters and really get some awesome network connections as you begin your cyber careers. This week we had the Cyber Skyline team as well as industry professionals host a variety of events. And 2 of our newer events, the soft skills are crucial in cybersecurity and how to stand out internships, interviews in the cyber community, were great additions that gave valuable advice and tips for players to take successful next steps in their careers. So a huge shout out to CrowdStrike and GM Financial for their stellar advice, and to the Cyber Skyline engineering team and the NCL board who have stepped up to support and encourage our student players. Once again, a gigantic thank you to everyone that supported these events and for the awesome attendance from our community members. And if by chance you missed these live, you can certainly find them on the Cyber Skyline YouTube channel and watch all the recordings. There's some really great nuggets of information and ways for you to stay connected in the NCL community. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap up tonight's event with, I'm excited to share, the fall 2025 NCL competition dates. So while we will be pausing in the summer, we will be back in effect in August. So registration is going to open on August 18th. Late registration is going to start on the 11th of October. It's going to close on October 14th. The practice game is going to take place October 13th through the 19th. And then the individual game weekend will be October 24th through the 26th. The team game will be the weekend of November 7th to the 9th. And the gym is going to close on December 12th. So we will definitely have these dates up on the website as well as communicate these to you in different ways, so you don't have to write these down or anything like that. But hopefully you're excited, and we are very excited to see you all in August. We appreciate everyone who joined us live and words of encouragement. We really are so incredibly proud at every single one of you. We had thousands of students participating in the spring competition season. And as David mentioned and Melissa had mentioned, maybe you're not the top teams that we discussed today or highlighted today, but you are part of something huge and something important. And we really, truly love the students in our community, and we want to continue to make sure that we give you all the ways of support that we possibly can. So congratulations once again to the top winners, as well as the entire NCL community for an amazing season. And David, any last thoughts before we go?
Yeah, sure. So that August date isn't that far away. You only have 3 months to wait to jump back into signing up. So that's nice to know. And Jim also around that same time, so not very long. But yeah, take a little pause, but also know that Discord, the NCL Discord, is still open and alive during summer. So it is a great way to maintain your contact during breaks between the NCL. And kind of learn what other people are doing during this break. What things are people working on? Use it as a great place for conversations of what else you might want to work on, or maybe work on other things with other NCL players over the summer. That might be fun as well. And also, we are not resting over summer, so we do have a monthly coaches call. So if any coaches, instructors are on this call right now, we will continue to have some monthly calls over the summer. So I welcome you to join those calls and join in on the conversation about the NCL, about training students, about all the things that we talk about, including input from coaches on the NCL itself. So with all that said, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to our dedicated players, to our dedicated coaches, to our dedicated fans and speakers. Melissa, thank you so much. And also to Cyber Skyline for running an amazing competition every season. We really do appreciate all that you do, and I know all the hard work that you guys do, answering all those little tickets that come in from our players. And I've heard lots of players saying how responsive you've been. So that also is appreciated. So thank you, Cyber Skyline, for running an amazing event for us.
All right. Have a great evening, everybody, and we will see you in August. Thanks, David.
Sure. Bye.
Bye, everyone.